Hey Taurus Collective, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. Welcome back if you've been here before. Let's see what you need to hear today. 3 cards for you. What you got here? You have Achiever, making and checking off lists, founder of clubs and groups, high goals, beating records, and making tough decisions. Beating records. So you are setting the bar higher, raising the standard here, raising the bar. Because it feels like it says you're beating the records, which means that something is already established. This week you're going above and beyond that. Now, this could just be a personal goal, or this could be some achievement that somebody else has made. But this week you are taking it up a notch. We'll have to see what that is. So you have, we talked about this for your weekly reading. I talked about stability, security, and being focused on the tangible world. Material blessings coming in. Okay, so you're setting some kind of new precedent for yourself. Okay, next card is water. Protection from negative force, purification, major life changes, untapped skills, comfort, and new life. I like this. So it feels like, I mean, I'm not working with a timetable right now, so this is just basically the energy surrounding you. But like I told you all the other day, your earthly matters and your romantic or emotional matters are showing up again. Because I think y'all had water and earth the other day, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then we have expectations. You hold high hopes and positive expectations for love, and you are ready to embrace new emotional experiences with an open heart. Yeah, now remember you kept getting the pink, and I didn't talk about this with you all, but I think Cancer kept getting the pink and the whatever you all get, yellow. And I looked up pink, and pink is connected to Venus. I remembered that when I talked about a couple months back, I talked about the sorority with the pink and the green. And I looked it up, and it just dawned on me yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, the pink and the green, both are Venusian colors, connected to Taurus and Libra, connected to the heart chakra and love. So yeah, I mean, I do feel like something emotionally fulfilling, as well as when it comes to your career, your academics, something like that is showing up here. We have Arrow, narrow-mindedness, egotistical confrontation, betrayal, defensive, disappointments, and missing the mark. And then we have Hourglass, old school ways of thinking, time is running out, death is near, time is the enemy and turned upside down. Well, I will say, unfortunately, I did lose a family member early this morning. Yeah, I haven't had much sleep. I mean, she's my great aunt, but still, she was the only one that still was alive. So that's just crazy that they would say death is near. Now, I'm not saying that for y'all, so don't worry about that. But I feel like that death is near is the ending of narrow-mindedness. Yeah. We talked about the disappointment the other day as well, and something about missing the mark. So again, I think I said this, that there's something that didn't go the way you wanted it to, and I feel like it's because it wasn't right for you. Don't know if I'm going to really look into that. I don't know if I want to, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about that kind of energy, right? And I know some people, don't mind, but for me, I want to keep things on the up and up. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just make stuff up, but I do want to say that I do feel for you, Taurus. I talked about this the other day, how we can be a bit inflexible because we don't like change. So with old school ways of thinking, that is Taurus energy. That's the Hierophant. And I actually talked about the number 5s kept coming out for you. So like I said, you're on your way. Some way that you've been thinking is not good for you, and you're going to be letting it go, because it may keep you in defense mode or keep you missing the mark here. Narrow-mindedness is the 9 of Wands. You can have a Scorpio moon placement that talks about an ongoing battle. So for some of you, this could be stubbornness and like reluctancy to change about something. I'll just sit that over there, okay? Got a new tarot deck yesterday at the store because I can't help myself. So let's see. What's going on with this Achiever energy? What's going on with Achiever for Taurus? The Death card. Yeah, so that means change is necessary. Change is coming. This is being in a period of transition, transformation, shedding old skin. Remember, y'all got Pluto. We talked about transformation the other day. This is endings, new beginnings, death, and rebirth. So I do feel like there's a message here, Taurus. If you have been struggling to let go of an old way of thinking or being rigid or stubborn about something, Spirit is tapping your hand a little bit and saying, look, if you want this goal to be reached, if you want to check these things off your list that you have, these goals that you have set for yourself, you're going to have to be willing to die to an old version of yourself. This is an ego death. And again, I look at it as course correction. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I feel like it's a divine detour and it's course correction. And like I said, this card, I mean, it's just interesting. The Death card is here again, right? The Death card does talk about life goes on because we don't really ever end. We are infinite beings, right? We have the Empress. Look at that. I just talked about the pink and the green, the Venusian energy, Taurus, Libra. So this is, in order for you, this is our major, right? One of them anyway. In order for you to achieve some goals here, it says founder of clubs and groups, high goals, beating records and making tough decisions, making and checking off lists. So it does feel like in order for you to triumph here, to be victorious here, because the Empress is opulence and she's a major lifestyle upgrade. She does talk about living in a lap of luxury, being cared for, loving unconditionally, so forth and so on. So something centered around the heart space, because Venus is all about love, the heart. Yeah. I do want to say though, I mean, there could be a matriarchal figure in your family that just passed, because technically that's what my aunt was. She was the oldest living. Yeah. She was a Taurus too. Oh, that's gonna make me sad. Okay, I'm gonna keep on moving. Boy. So some of you, maybe you're trying to cope with the loss of someone. Maybe it's a feminine, an older feminine. The Empress is a maternal figure, but I feel like sometimes I see the Empress, much like the High Priestess, as a woman's intuition. For some of you, if you are being called to lead, right? Because it says founder of clubs and groups. The Empress does talk about leading with kindness, compassion, unconditional love. She's very soft, okay? So there's no need to like throw your weight around when you see the Empress. The Empress is just basically resting in her femininity. She's like a perfect person to work for. For some of you, this could even be maybe it's a new employer, a new supervisor or something coming into your life. And this person is really going to nurture you. Or this is you nurturing your own skills. The Empress does talk about feeling creative and self-expression as well. So that could be a message to communicate with love. And let's see what else. What's going on with water? Protection from negative force, purification, major life changes, untapped skills, comfort in a new life. The Seven of Cups. Oh, I can't show this. She doesn't have clothes on. The Seven of Cups. And this deck does have, it's like queer inclusive. And this person here, I believe, is actually trans. Yeah. Okay, so Scorpio Venus. That is water. What is that? That's the Seven of Cups. That can be delusional energy, rose-colored glasses, the Emperor. Ooh, you got a true pair. Your divine masculine or divine feminine is here on the table with you. And you have water and expectations. You hold high hopes and positive expectations for love. Yeah. Now, sometimes this Seven of Cups can mean that you have options to choose from and you are being told to choose wisely. And if you are making a decision, I do feel like Spirit is, oh God, I forgot, I can't show her. I do feel like Spirit is saying that the Emperor obviously is going to stand head and shoulders above any other options that you have. So if you are trying to make a decision about love, right? It says tough decisions. This is like a mind over matter, a logical decision. Choosing a person who is the practical fit as opposed to maybe somebody who's fun and, you know, all of that stuff. Like, you got to think about the long term. Who can provide, who can protect, who can be a good parent to your child or children if you have some already or going to have some with this person. Whoever this person is, if you are still in your childbearing years, I feel like you and this person will have a child or children. Yeah, you got new love here. Ace of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But they could be an Aries in your energy. You could also be on the Aries, Taurus cusp. This says protection from negative forces. So this Emperor could be coming in to give you protection. I do feel like you know intellectually who to choose if you do have options. If this is not about options, this is about some of you just kissing a bunch of frogs up until this point, and this Emperor is coming in to show you that it gets better. This person's coming in to elevate your life because it says major life changes. Untapped skills. This could also be you leveling up professionally, though. The Emperor does talk about work in a male-dominated industry, and it can talk about a promotion, a raise, a significant pay raise. He's all 4 kings in one. So this is the patriarchy as well. When I see the Emperor and the Empress on the table, you get matriarchy, patriarchy. I feel like some of you could be bringing a feminine touch to a masculine environment, or you could be bringing a masculine touch to a feminine environment to balance it out. What's going on with your high hopes? You hold high hopes and positive expectations for love. You are ready to embrace new emotional experiences with an open heart. Ace of Cups energy. You have the Page of Swords. So some of you are cautiously optimistic. This is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. This card can mean that someone is interested in you, curious about you, or this could be you feeling this way about someone else. Let me make sense of this card here. I can't really see what's going on here. What is that at the top? Oh, that's the other lady. Jesus. Okay, yeah. So if you are single, I do feel like some of you, you're cautiously optimistic. You're a little bit guarded. You might feel like you have some trust issues, right? And somebody really has to prove themselves in order for you to let your guards down, because the Page of Swords is guarded. His sword is normally up. It's interesting. It's actually down here. That's interesting. I always tell y'all when the sword is down, I feel like they've made a mistake. When it's up, I feel like they're thinking. Because the sword does represent our thoughts, our minds, intellect, reasoning. So when the sword is down, I feel like either a decision has been made or somebody is saying, I ain't trying to make a decision. But the Page of Swords is curiosity. It usually talks about a meeting of the minds between you and another person, having a lot in common intellectually. So there could be a younger person in your energy, maybe an air sign, or someone really smart, talkative, clever, maybe a bit aloof sometimes, maybe doesn't show all of their emotions. But I feel like this person has already discovered something about you. Page of Swords can mean that someone is watching you, keeping an eye on you because they are curious about you. And they wanna know more, they wanna learn more. It's also one of my social media cards. So this could be indicating that you will meet someone online, or you already have. Putting the cards in the wrong place. So this is a really cerebral person. This is a person who thinks before they speak. And like I said, the sword is down, which means for me that a decision has already been made in this person's mind. You know, with the clouds here and the raindrops falling, this person could be guarded because they've been hurt before. Okay. Or maybe even you hurt them. I don't know. Yeah, we have the 7 of Wands. That's a defensive energy. And it is a feeling of wanting to protect yourself and stand your ground. But it can also be somebody that wants to fight for connection with you. Leo, Mars energy. Now, the date of this card is actually coming up. What is it? August the 12th through the 22nd. So you might want to keep that date in mind. The swords are weeks. So it's possible something's happening over the next 2 weeks or so between you and this person. This is 7 days. So that could be significant. 1 week. You got the 10 of Pentacles and you got the Judgment card. Whomever this person is, and then the Hierophant. What else? The Ace of Wands, yeah. There you go. So you got Virgo, Mercury, you got Scorpio, Pluto, again, transformation. You got Taurus energy, you got Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So whomever this person is, they're showing up as being in it for the long haul. So the Hierophant is marriage material, someone you're equally yoked with. Ten of Pentacles talks about building an empire with someone. This is financial stability as well, and that could be why you have achiever here. You could also be attracting an achiever. Because like I said, the Empress is here and the Emperor is here. And that talks about you being provided for, protected, is very stable love, and being catered to, really. Somebody putting you up in a lap of luxury. The Judgment card is someone connected to your North Node energy. I believe y'all got that the other day as well. So you got the institution of marriage with the Judgment card, which is a major awakening. This is beautiful. So this is something that has some serious staying power. This indicates marriage. And this Ace of Wands means that you're going to have a lot of physical attraction with this person. A lot in common when it comes to your ambition. You two could have a lot of fire in your chart, or you two could be very motivated, driven, passionate people. And this means that you're cut from the same cloth. So I do feel like there's a spiritual alliance between you two. There's a physical connection and chemistry and all of that. But like the spirituality here is like off the charts. And then the Ten of Pentacles is financial stability. So y'all clicking on all cylinders. I like that. Okay, so you got the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And the Star. Wow, so the Four of Swords does talk about recovery from the Three of Swords. Heartbreak. And I just talked about somebody being trans, and this person is, in this card, Aquarius energy. I'm just saying if that means something, it doesn't have to. And then you have Libra, Saturn here. I'm sorry, Libra, Jupiter. The Four of Swords. That is 4 weeks. So remember I said something could be happening over the next couple of weeks. I see more like 1 week, 2 weeks, but it could be 4. This is optimism. The Star card comes after the Tower, right? Just like this comes after the Three of Swords. So this is like the calm after the storm. Yeah, look at this. Leaving the storm behind. This is the calm after the storm as well. Six of Swords. Your spirit guides are here. The Star is your spirit guides, as well as the Six of Swords. Aquarius energy. Aquarius Mercury. You have a romantic proposal coming in, y'all. And it's a solid offer. At least the potential for it. This person's going to be willing to jump through hoops for you. And look at that rabbit. Venusian energy. This is connected to the Empress. The rabbit is. Fertility. The Three of Wands talks about growth and expansion. So this is somebody that really wants to build with you. Could be a water sign. Could be an air sign. I didn't mean to say air sign. But it could be an air sign with the Page of Swords here. Actually, all of them are here. Fire, air, earth, and water are here. So it really doesn't matter. But the Three of Wands does talk about building blocks. You know, Ace of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. And again, it is the potential for something really stable. This is a blessing from God. And it's also connected to your security, stability, and your earthly matters. New job, new car, new home, so forth, so on. But if it is a love situation, it talks about the potential for a really, really stable love connection between you and someone else. Because they're grounded. They're just like you. So, like I said, you all are clicking on all cylinders. You got all the elements. I really love that for you. Let me just pull a couple of cards from this deck right here. Let's see what it says. I was going to use this deck too. Do I want to use this? Look what's at the bottom of the deck. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Emperor again with the Five of Cups. It's time to let go of the past and move forward. Three of Wands does talk about broadening your horizons. Somebody really financially stable. This person could run... I just heard a fleet of cars. They can have a lot of cars, or they could run a business that has to do with transportation or vehicles. Yeah, transportation. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knights are travelers. They do represent movement, motion. This person is feeling to me like they have an established business. This person feels like an entrepreneur. Okay, you two are giving off power couple energy. Ten of Pentacles is a power couple dynamic. Building an empire with someone. What else do you need to know? What's going on with your finances? Oh, you got the Empress again, Taurus. Wow. It says abundance, maternal energy, fertility, divine feminine energy, pregnancy, beauty, sensuality, care and nurturing, Mother Earth, and creation of life. We all know that the Empress can represent pregnancy, but sometimes the pregnancy is not actually a baby. It's ideas. Okay, what else? Look at that, the Ace of Cups. Another fertility card. This is a very fertile time for you. And this is new love for some of you. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands and the Four of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And I told you all the other day, pick your poison. Seven of Cups is here again. And that does mean to pick your poison. So you might have to make a mind over matter decision about this person that's racing in, possibly an air sign. Somebody that's really hot and cold with you, even if they're not an air sign. It does feel like you want to take time to think. You want to sleep on something. You want to meditate. You got the Four of Swords here twice as well. Sometimes I see that as sleeping on something. Like you need time, a moment to catch your breath. The Five of Wands can talk about conflict or somebody being aggressive. And the Knight of Swords is aggressive. He's a contrarian. He likes to argue. He likes to argue his point. Okay. So this may be something that you want to keep in mind. This is somebody who won't take no for an answer. And I told you all in your weekly, what did I say? I said don't ignore your gut feelings about this person. So this is you being in a meditative state and this person is coming right to you. And the thing is, he's pushy. He's forceful. He wants to talk and he wants to talk now. This is not a person that you can say, let me call you back. They're like, no, I want to talk right now. You're like, okay, well, I can't talk right now. So this could definitely be some kind of argument you're trying to avoid with someone. And this may be why this hourglass is here, because time has run out. Okay. But this person is still shooting their shot. It could be a Sagittarius or a Gemini or an air sign, period. And then the Five of Wands is actually the 23rd, tomorrow, July 23rd through August the 1st. This could be somebody you haven't heard from in about 4 weeks or so. 5 days for others of you. So just keep that in mind. Anything else that Taurus needs to know? The Page of Cups in reverse. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and the Emperor again. Whoa, so you got the Emperor and the Empress here. Okay, I feel like this message is for those of you who've been dealing with an immature person, maybe a younger person, or somebody that just their inner child, like they have trauma. They have some trauma from their upbringing. The Four of Wands. This is someone's home. The Four of Cups. This is a person who was neglected. And then the Fool. They could be pretty reckless. Could be an Aquarius. You got Cancer Moon. And the 1111 card. Aries Venus. Yeah, there's somebody here. They could have mommy or daddy wounds, issues, whatever. I feel like Spirit is saying it's time to level up and be with your actual counterpart. The Emperor. This may be water sign that could be younger than you, right? It's not the Emperor. That doesn't make sense. There's a leader, somebody who's divine masculine energy matching your divine feminine energy showing up. You two came out twice. The Emperor and the Empress is here twice. That's a true pair. I mean, you can't get any better than that. The only thing that I see is better than that is the Hierophant and the High Priestess. And that's a spiritual connection. This is more an earthly connection, meaning that you two, like I said, a power couple. I'm going to let y'all go. This could be marriage, moving in with someone. You could be seeing a lot of fours. The Emperor is the number 4. You have the Four of Cups, the Four of Wands. You got the Four of Swords. Yeah, you could be seeing a lot of fours. Fours means that something is stabilizing. Or you're taking a look at, like it said here, narrow-mindedness, egotistical confrontation, betrayal, defensive, disappointments, and missing the mark. Now, that could be this air sign person or this person racing in. That, like I said, they are confrontational. But I also feel like there's a message here about outdated thinking, right? And being stubborn and narrow-minded and not wanting to hear different points of view. The Four of Pentacles can be changing that. And being more stable when it comes to the way that you think. Because it is about our thought processes, people, places, and mindsets. So, and things as well. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See y'all next time. Peace.